course, tonight can be about whatever you want it to be about. I'm an open book with questions that you have. There is no question off limits. There's nothing that I don't want to talk about, but I definitely have a topic for tonight that is different than a lot of the topics that we've been talking about for the last 27 nights. You guys know that we've been together for 27 nights, every night at 8 o'clock, except for the night that I had my son pop in and drive the train, which was pretty fun. Tonight is different. I've been sitting here getting ready for the last 15 minutes for tonight's stream, and I've really been able to calm my mind down and really focus on some things that are important to me in my life. And I want to show you something that was introduced to me through my business partner that he does in his family life. Something he does in his family life. And when he showed it to me, I literally didn't believe it. I'm going to show it to you tonight. But I didn't believe that they actually did this in their family until I went to dinner at his house and they did it. And as I began to meet other of my business partner, Rick Sappio's friends, they told me, have you been to his house for dinner? I said, yeah. They said, did he pull out the family placemat? I said, yeah. Did the kids go around with the wooden spoon? I said, yeah. It's like, isn't that incredible? I'm going to show it to you tonight. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, but I want to welcome everybody who's jumped in here. I want to welcome Lisa Marie. Nice to see you. My buddy Jimbo. Great to see you. Derek, great to see you. Awesome to see you guys popping in. Darren, good to see you. Josh, good to see you. Over on Instagram, nice to see you guys. I'm still getting used to everybody's names. I apologize for the difficulty. Robert, great to see you. My buddy Phil, awesome to see you. Michael, good to see you guys. For those of you who may not know who I am, let me give a quick introduction. I'm Matt Monero. I'm coming in from my house in Dallas, Texas. And I am the author of this book, You Need More Money. We've talked a lot about what's in this book, right? We've also talked about this book together for 27 nights, about the grit. But let me tell you something. Tonight is not about the grit or why you need more money. It's actually not about either of these topics. It's about what the hell are we grinding and gritting and getting more money for? What is the reasoning of all of that stuff? And I want to remind you that there is a higher purpose. Look, it might be religion for you. I'm down with that. But for most of us, you know what it is? It's our families. It's the ability to deliver a relationship, something that our children will remember us by. That is why we grind and we grit and we need more money. It's all that stuff. But the primary purpose is to deliver a tremendous connection to our families. And I'm here to tell you, as my friend RJ Grimshaw, who just popped on Instagram, has reminded me many times, it goes like this. It freaking flies. What flies? Our time with our children. This unbelievable opportunity that we have to have these little ones, these babies in our house for about 18 years. And then it's sayonara. And we might laugh about it. We'd be like, oh man, these kids, dude, those kids aren't driving you crazy. Even in your worst days as a parent, you know what I'm talking about. They're magical days, right? That kid crawling up into bed with you, and then all of a sudden they don't want to crawl up into bed with you. That's a bummer night, right? Or maybe when Johnny Boy doesn't want to go out to dinner with you because he's got a date with his girlfriend. You're like, hold on a minute, you got a girlfriend? Well, what's going on, man? What are you talking about? You don't want to hang on me? Right? Where the kid says, no, Dad, I'm not going to drive home from the game with you. I'm going to drive home with my buddies. Right? Ooh. So here's a couple things that I learned from my business partner, Rick Sappio. I'm going to show it to you right now. This is what Rick calls his family placemat. And I'm going to show you guys this. This is literally his life, his family's legacy in writing, laminated into a placemat. Now, he doesn't sell these. In fact, he's built a website called familyplacemat.com. You go to familyplacemat.com And he gives you the instructions on how to do it. He doesn't tell you where to print it. You can't buy it from him. That's not a business that he's in. But when you see what's on this family placemat, which, by the way, you will at Business Finishing School, bfssummit.com. Yes, I'm plugging it, of course. It's the event that I'm throwing with Rick. He and I are partners in Business Finishing School. It's our 15th Growth Summit, February 22, 23, and 24 in Dallas. Go to bfssummit.com, bfssummit.com to learn more. We're going to help you build out this family placemat, this lifestyle by design, this thing that says, what the hell am I grinding? Am I gritting? Am I pushing for? Why am I doing all the stuff that I'm doing? Because as all of us know, the money piece is kind of, look, don't get me wrong, and I'm not getting soft on you tonight about that it isn't important. It's vital. But once you get it, you sort of say, boy, I thought it was going to be a little different. Like without my kids or my spouse or my friends enjoying it with me, it wasn't quite as good as I thought. Now, when you get the money and your friends and your family and your kids and your spouse and the wheel is really spinning and you're all dialed in, it's freaking magic. We know that. Those moments that we've had with our families and our children in which it's magical. And I'm going to share this family placemat with you, my partner and really close friend Rick Sapio's family placemat, because it's one way to tie it all together. If you went to dinner at Rick's house like I have, you would see this family placemat in front of you as a guest. Now, he entertains a lot. I don't entertain that much at my house, but he entertains a lot. This placemat would be in front of you, sitting right there in front of you, and he would hand a wooden spoon to be routed around the table. And at the table, when the spoon comes to you, he asks you to read something from the family placemat. So let me go ahead and read something that they have here, right? Under family quotes, how you do anything is how you do everything, right? Sounds good to me. Now, his children are 11, 9, 7, and 5, right? 3 boys and a girl. Do you think that helps a 5-year-old? Do you think it helps to drive the motion of your legacy and your purpose and your why? Do you think it helps install who you are and what your family values are into your children? Of course. Now, Lisa Marie says, too fast, 18 summers are not enough. And I know she knows what I'm talking about because I know she's got 2 girls. And at BFS, at our summit in February, we have a keynote speaker of my friend Jim Shields, who just wrote a book called 18 Summers, in which, and I've mentioned him to you before, he talks about that we really only have about 18 summers with our children. So what are we going to do with those 18 summers? Let me ask you a question. Do you have parents that are getting up there in age? Maybe they're in their 80s, right? Well, how much longer do you think they have to live? Now, let's be straight about this for a second. Let's say that your mother or father are 82 years old, and you live in Dallas, Texas, and they live in Florida, and you see them once a year. Do you think it's a reasonable argument that your parents may only have, let's say 5 years left to live? Okay. Let's say that's reasonable, right? They'll live till they're 87 years old. They're 82 now. They're going to live till they're 87. That means you have 5 visits with them at once a year. Do you think that visit might become more important to you now? Do you think that you might want to spend more than 1 visit a year with them? If you looked at it that said you only have 5 experiences left with your parents, do you think that it might force focus and concentration on that experience a little bit more? I damn sure hope so. I damn sure hope so, that it wakes you up. Now, what if I told you that of all this grit and grinding that you're doing, you only have 18 summers with your children? Now, I'm going to tell you that it might even not be 18. It might be 16, because when Johnny Boy got his license, gone, right? Nothing makes the rocker and I happier than when we pull up to our house and Johnny Boy's red truck is out front, man. Our hearts just go pitter patter. I know you know what I'm talking about, especially if your children are driving now and they're gone so often. But when you pull up to that house and you see that they're home, I know you as a parent say, bring this on. This is awesome. F. Luna, do not jump on the stream and promote your business. I appreciate you jumping on, but do me a favor and do not promote your business on my stream. I find it very, very rude. Let's get back on the topic here for a minute. FamilyPlacemat.com. FamilyPlacemat.com is where my friend Rick Sapio shows you how to build this out. Again, it is not a sale. He is not in the placemat business. He wants to help families reconnect. So here's his family placemat. Everything you could possibly want to know about his family's legacy is on this placemat. And if you were to go to the house, they would hand you, this placemat would be sitting in front of you, and they would go ahead and hand you a wooden spoon, and you would read, you pass the spoon around the table, and you would read from their family placemat so that you can immediately get a connection to who the hell they are and what do they stand for and what's important to them. And what's magical about this is that this is transferring through from parent to child every single night, because every single night at his house when he's having family dinner, this is in front of the family and they read from it. That's how it plays out. So I challenge you tonight to really calm it all down, to calm yourself down. And when we're fighting and we're grinding and we're gritting and we're doing all the stuff that we know we have to do to move this needle of net worth, it's magical when we figure out what the hell are we doing it for. And I would tell you that the greatest gift I've gotten from Business Finishing School, outside of the growth of my business, the ability to install simplicity and structure to a chaotic business that is now a simple business, is my ability to get reconnected to what is most important to me, which without any question, and I know we would probably all answer the same question with our family, but the reality is it really? Do we really spend the time to understand who our children are? And what is it that makes them happy? And equally as important, what is it that they're learning from us through our conversations and our teachings, right? Okay? That's my message for us tonight. Spend the time digging in with them. Now, what's a tip? What's a tip and a takeaway? We'll teach it at Business Finishing School. We'll teach it at the Growth Summit. You got to install rhythms. So we know about rhythms, right? These structured rhythms within our business, but why not do it in our family life too? Why not have a date night? Rick has a date night with his wife, Melissa, every Monday, 7 p.m. Everybody knows. The kids know. The babysitter knows. The restaurant knows. Everybody knows. Sapios will be there at 7 o'clock on Monday night. Period. End of story. And I think they've done that for 12 years straight. What about if you did it with just family dinner night? Ask yourself, how often does the family sit down and eat together? Break bread, as we like to say as Italians. Do we break bread? Something magical happens when we break bread. How often are we doing it? Or are we checking our damn phones? And are we focused on what's on the television and what's going on Fox Business or CNN? It's all so silly. It's not simple on the far side of complexity, which is what we teach in Business Finishing School. Okay? My friend Fred Luna will be saying goodbye to you, buddy. All right? I wish you didn't go there, Fred. What a shame. What a shame, buddy. My point tonight, and I apologize for F. Luna for jumping on the stream like that, my friend. What a shame. What a shame, dude. It says so much more about you than it does about me or anybody else on the stream. The point tonight, get laser focused, not just in your grit and your grind and whatever else is happening in your life, but the ability to remember why you're doing it. And why you're doing it for most of us is we're doing it for our families and for our children and for our legacy. And our legacy isn't known until we transfer who we are into other people. Okay? So that's what I got to say about that. Let's move to questions tonight so we can move and keep moving on what we're up to tonight, all right? Let's keep rocking and rolling. Let's keep rocking and rolling. What else do we have that's on people's minds here? Let's rock and roll, all right? Let's see what we got for questions. Jimbo says his dad's 76 and he doesn't want him to go. Amen, Brother Ben. Darren says he's got 5 kids. Bam. Love it. Cool. Sounds like you got your core values all dialed in too, buddy. Faith, family, then finance. Good stuff. Family placemat is brilliant, says Sally Davis. Again, you can figure that out and get the instructions on how you want to do it if you want to go to my my business partner's website, familyplacemat.com. He's not selling it. It just gives instructions and examples of how you can do it as well. It's irrelevant to him whether he makes a nickel off of familyplacemat.com. In fact, I don't even think there's anything to buy on it. It's just the instructions of how you too can go ahead and build out your own family placemat, which is basically your family's messaging and your family's ideology shared with others, and most importantly, shared through your children. So there you have it. Let's rock and roll. Thank you, Fred Ward. Good to see you, my man. Tristan, thanks for jumping on. Jimbo Carroll says, what did he do? What did who do, my friend? What did who do, my friend? Let's keep rocking and roll. Scott, I have a special needs son. Try working with the state. Trust me, it's a joke. I understand. We understand that there's massive challenges in that regard. Aaron says, I have 2 boys. Thanks for the inspiration. Do I cook for your family? I most certainly do, my friend. I love cooking for the family. But family dinner night for us doesn't matter what's really on the table. I know Marie might disagree with that because she sounds like a great cook. But for us, it's just the ability to break bread. I don't even care what kind of bread it is. And lately for me, it ain't been much bread. In fact, there's been no bread, not a slice of bread for 97 days. And I don't even miss it anymore, to tell you the truth. So let's keep rocking and rolling. Who's got? Darren says, great message. Thank you, my man. Let's keep rocking and rolling. For some questions, Tristan says, will I be in Miami for GrowthCon? I will be in Miami. GrowthCon is just a small piece of it. I've got other things that I'm doing in Miami, and an event on Friday night, an event on Saturday night as well, my friends. So I appreciate you asking, Tristan. If you're down there, we ought to see if we can't meet. Thank you, Maria, for the commentary on dropping a few LBs. I'm in the race to the finish right now, you guys. A race to the finish, 11 pounds to go. Like we talked about last night, the only question I have is, man, I should have gone bigger. Instead of 50 pounds, I should have gone for more like 75 pounds, you know? But thank you guys for the shout out. I appreciate it. Let's keep rocking and roll. What do we got for questions, man? Business owner to biz consultant. Jimbo, I'm not sure what that means, man. Corky says, hope to see you in Miami. Hope to see you too, Corky. It'd be awesome. Can you talk about, Scott wants to know about, can you talk about significant people that you hired when you were starting CFF? I can tell you, man, we didn't have any money to hire people in the early days. I did hire like an executive assistant very early on. I started the company in 1995, and I hired her in 1996, and she helped me build the business. Super intelligent girl. Her name was Amanda. She did a great job to help us build the business. And really, the business began to turn in 2001 when I got lucky and hired a really good salesperson who's still with me after all these years, named Tim. And Tim and I really, for a decade, grinded and built the business. That took us to, really about 2000. And I guess he was with me 5 years before the business really began to turn and pop. Then we got whacked in 08, 09, and then we've really taken off since then. But if you guys put a timeline to that, if you take 1995 and you put it to about 2005, 2006, when we really had some momentum going before the downturn, and then we exploded after that, that's a decade, y'all. That's a decade of grinding and pushing and fighting. It was rough, man, no problem. But I know some of you are going through the same thing. You're dealing with the same problems that I did. And all I can tell you is stay in the fight. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Move the needle every single day. Let's go to Francisco's question. I'm a door-to-door person here in Dallas. How can I get more motivated when I make 0 sales? Look, I would challenge you, Francisco. What makes you think that's the right platform? Why is that the right business for you? Because it's easy to get motivated in a situation like that. If you're struggling, and by the way, in any platform you're in, there's only one thing you should be doing: figuring out who the best person is in the organization in that platform and partnering up with that person and modeling them and figure out exactly what they're doing. That's how you get motivated, because that's how you get the wins. You follow them. Now, here's the big question. Is there someone in the office, in the platform, that's going to do that for you? Because if not, you're in the wrong platform, dude. You're being sold a bill of goods, my friend. You have to get around winners. You must hook your wagon up to the top producers in the organization. If you cannot find the top person in the organization and you can't get to them, it's the wrong platform. If you were to work in my office, and maybe you should, Francisco, maybe you ought to interview with us. If you're a good salesperson, we're always hiring. But if you came to my office, dude, the top dogs in my office, and there's a half a dozen guys that are making really, really good money. Not just guys. Kendra Beerley on the stream tonight too is making great money as well. We would teach you how you can do it too. We would let you hook up to our wagon. That's your responsibility. So I challenge you, if you're struggling with motivation because you're not making any sales, you gotta test the platform, and you gotta hook up with the number one person, male, female, don't matter, in that office, and figure out what are they doing to win. If you can't find that person, you are clearly in the wrong platform. Fernando says he's watching from Buenos Aires. Thanks, dude. Love it. Darren asks, any books, mentors, etc., that really help you explode your company, or anyone you're following that's really helping make your business, taking your business to the next level? Super question, guys. The awesome question. And I'm getting to know Darren, and I know he's a successful dude. That's why he is asking that question. The question he's asking is who you're reading, who you're watching, and who are you listening to? And it makes such a big difference in our lives. So I would have to say to you that two of the most important books I've ever read, the first, without question, was The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. I think it's the best business book ever written. And definitely the 10X rule opened my eyes, opened a new chapter in my life of competing against myself and my potential versus everyone else that I was competing against. I was still competing against the competition. I was competing against my old man. I was competing against my friends. I was competing against my neighbors. Those were all wrong competitors. They motivated me and they fueled me, but they really weren't the answer. The answer was, when am I going to start to compete against my own potential? And the 10X rule helped me with that. As far as who I'm listening to, I really am spending a lot of time listening to my friend, Ed Milet. Milet and I know each other pretty well. And he's probably the guy that I spend the most time listening to right now. In fact, I went on an hour-and-a-half walk earlier today, and that's all I listened to was the Ed Milet podcast. In fact, the episode he did recently with John Maxwell is an unbelievable episode. If you're not following Ed Milet, go to Ed Milet, subscribe to him on your podcast playlist, and listen to the Ed Milet John Maxwell episode. It was absolutely incredible, and I rarely say that about something. It was like every other word from Maxwell and Milet on that was something I wanted to stop and re-listen to, and I did multiple times. It was killer. Okay. Freddie says, no question. Want you to know I'm impressed by the inside look. You and your amazing family. It takes courage. It's been an honor and privilege to be part of your journey. Thank you, dude, for that. Thank you, my friend. My wife, Rocky, and I have done an amazing job with our children so far. How do you know that? You know when you're doing a good job with your children when you get accolades when the children aren't with you, right? And it has been an amazing journey. We get lovely letters from our sons, teachers. In fact, we got a letter last week from my middle son, Jack's, one of my middle son, Jack's teachers. They had some special needs kids come into her class, and she said in 14 years of teaching, she'd never seen anyone show more care and interest in this group of special needs children than my son Jack did. And then my son Jack went a step further and he invited one of the kids to lunch with him. And Jack's 14. You know the peer pressure that exists in the lunchroom for 14-year-olders, but Jack doesn't care about that. He wanted to help that kid more than he wanted to deal with the BS and the silliness of peer pressure in the lunchroom. He didn't care about that. He took the kid to lunch, and the teacher said that it was so emotional that she and a couple other parents in the room actually shed a tear over it. So Jack didn't know that he was being watched and all that sort of stuff. I'm not bragging on me and my rocker. I'm bragging on my kid Jack, and I want you to brag on your kids too. Hell, shit, brag on them. Tell them how good they are, man. Print those emails and save them too. Put them in the memory box. So that is my message for you tonight. Look, I'm all about this. I'm so down with the grit and the grind and all that sort of stuff. And I am so down with the fact that you need more money. Hell, I wrote a book about it. The big question is, are we making enough time for the reasons why the grit and the money matter? And that stuff is what exists when we flush out our desires, our legacy, our purpose, our characteristics through processes like my buddy and business partner Rick Sapio's done with his family placemat. This exercise is unbelievable. Just to take the time to write this down, then print it and take it to a printer and get it laminated. By the way, he'll have stacks of these at our BFS Summit in Dallas. My Johnny Boy just joined. Hey, Johnny Boy. He will have stacks of these in the back of the room. He'll give these out to anybody who wants them. He'll have 100 copies of them if you want your family placemat from Business Finishing School. But I remind you that BFS Summit, we still have tickets left. You can still get tickets. The only code I have for you tonight, the only discount code I have for you is MATT, all caps, 100. That's what I can do for you today. I can save you $100 off of it. Mike Vaccaro says Rick's book is great. Rick will be doing a book signing at our BFS Summit, our Business Finishing School Summit in February. His book is called Who's in Your Room? You can get it on Amazon. It is a great book. It's the concept of the doorman principle that we've talked about early on in our streams. So we are coming, I just want everybody to remember, we are coming up to the end of our time together. We literally have 28th, 29th, and 30th. I will not be with you on the 31st. We stop in 3 nights. I hope it's been beneficial for you. It's been very beneficial for me. It's been amazing to get to meet so many people. Many people have taken action and downloaded some of the stuff that I've given away, and of course signed up for Business Finishing School. So I want to thank everybody who's done that. I cannot wait to meet all you guys in Dallas. For those of you who are still on the fence, Megan just put it in the Instagram stream and someone else put it in Facebook, and I thank you for that. It's bfssummit.com. You'll get to hear Tim's story talk. You'll get to hear Elena Cardone. I'm keynoting. Rand Stagen, Rick Sapio's keynoting. Dustin Barton is keynoting. I mean, come on, come on, come on. Maria's, that's funny, Maria. All right, that's funny. I'm going to give John a buzz this week, Maria, and we're going to have that conversation and see if we can't put that trip together. So Jimbo says, how many people again? Jimbo, I think what you're talking about is how many people are coming to BFS. There'll be a couple hundred people in the room. We'll sell 250 tickets. And we always have a no-show factor. It's odd to me. People actually buy tickets to events and don't go. But that doesn't matter for us because we make the commitment that whether or not everyone who bought a ticket shows up is not our concern. What is our concern is that we deliver incredible value to every single person in the room. And I think it's what makes our BFS Summit so special is we walk the room. We do these deep dives. This year we have 4 deep dives. What I mean by a deep dive is a deep session, a deep dive, a deep session into the foundational principles of Business Finishing School, things that are in your booklet here. This is the booklet that you'll get, by the way. Deep dives into the takeaways. These aren't like ideas. We're going to make you do 4 deep dive exercises. And the one I'm teaching is called the New Profit Paradigm, where we find new ways of profitability in your business. Dustin Barton is teaching the transformation sequence. Rick Sapio is teaching the business frame. When do you see him do the business frame? It'll blow your mind. And that happens the very first deep dive right out of the gates in Business Finishing School. That'll happen probably around 4 o'clock on Friday, the 22nd. And then we will do, that'll take an hour and a half of deep dive brain drain. Then we'll have Elena Cardone come up and speak. Elena and I are going to do a fireside Q&A session. And then Friday night, we do the book signing event in which Tim Story will be there for it, signing his book. Sapio will be there signing his book. Elena will be signing her brand new books. If you guys have been following her on social, you'll see that her book is out and really starting to crank. I think she was signing hundreds of copies the other day. She'll be live doing a book signing with us on Friday night. Saturday morning, we start with a workout at 6:30, and then we go to meditation, voluntary if you want. And then my buddy Jim Shields kicks in on Saturday morning. He'll speak at about 8:45. And then Tim Story will come on and keynote around 10:30, banging us on transformation. Then we'll have a working lunch for about 50 people who want to learn more about Business Finishing School. Rick and I will buy you lunch with the intent to teach you about what Business Finishing School is, and hopefully you'll enroll in our program. And then when we come back from lunch at 2, at around 2:30, I will teach the New Profit Paradigm. And then we bang out keynotes. We go Dustin Barton, Transformation Sequence, Rand Stagen, Haas Pratt. We finish with a networking event on Saturday night. And then on Sunday, we do workout meditation again. And then we bang Rick and Dr. Ivan Meisner will bring it home. And the whole event is over at 10:30. It will be unbelievable. I cannot wait to see it. So wonderful to be with you guys again tonight. This is 27 nights in a row. And we got 3 more to go. So I will see you all down the road. Remember, bfssummit.com, familyplacemat.com, familyplacemat.com if you want to learn how to do your own placemat. Take care, guys. See you manana.